They see you. Do not be fooled by their silence. Do not be deceived by their lack of words. You are under observation every single day, and it is not by chance. There are eyes on you hidden, careful, deliberate. They watch how you move. They watch how you endure. They watch how you continue to walk with grace, even when life tries to crush you. And yet, despite all the attention you carry, they refuse to act. Why? Because you are a mirror they cannot confront. You remind them of something they do not want to face, that excuses are nothing, that fear is a cage, and that destiny requires courage. They see you walk in your path while carrying wounds, and it shatters their illusions. If you can keep going, then their own reasons for quitting suddenly collapse. That's why they won't act. They'd rather watch you than deal with their own truth. Chosen one, you have to understand, silence is not ignorance. Inaction is not blindness. People know exactly what you carry. They know you are different. They know your presence shifts rooms. But instead of acknowledging it, instead of celebrating it, instead of moving alongside youth, they sit back. They pretend not to notice. They hide behind passivity. But make no mistake, they see everything. You might wonder why some who could help you stay silent, why those who could speak up choose not to, why those who could open doors stand frozen. It's not that they can't, it's that they won't. Because to move on your behalf would mean admitting that you carry a fire greater than theirs. To support you would mean exposing their own lack of courage. And so they watch, but they do not move. This is the tension you live in, chosen one. Eyes on you, but no action. Whispers about you, but no confrontation. Admiration in silence, but no confession in public. They may even secretly study your steps, learning from your discipline, your endurance, your resilience. But they will never tell you. They will never admit it. Because acknowledgement requires humility, pride holds them hostage. Yet here is the mystery. Their inaction is still action. Their silence is still testimony. By refusing to move, they prove your power. By refusing to speak, they confirm your influence. By refusing to act, they demonstrate that your presence alone shakes them. You don't need them to act for proof, you already have it. Their stillness is proof enough. And here is what you must not forget. Your assignment is not dependent on their actions. Heaven does not need their approval. Heaven does not require their support. Heaven has already chosen you, already equipped you, already set you apart. Their silence cannot stop your progress. Their hesitation cannot block your elevation. Their refusal to act is powerless against the will of God moving in your life. But oh, how it bothers them, how it frustrates them, because deep down they want to be like you. They want your courage, but they fear risk. They want your peace, but they cling to control. They want your light, but they are addicted to shadows. And so they sit. They watch. They hesitate. They convince themselves they'll act one day. But that day never comes, because the longer they wait, the more your shine exposes their delay. Chosen one, this is why you feel so isolated. This is why you sometimes feel unsupported. It is not because you are forgotten, it's because you are unforgettable. Your very existence forces people into a decision they do not want to make. You stand as living proof that destiny is possible. That breakthrough is real, that faith is stronger than fear. And when confronted with that reality, some would rather stay silent than admit they have been stagnant. But take heart. Their refusal is not your rejection. Their hesitation is not your downfall. In fact, it's the opposite. The less they act, the more God acts. The less they move, the more heaven moves. And this is why, despite the lack of support, you keep rising. Despite the lack of recognition, you keep advancing. Despite the absence of help, you keep overcoming. Because your story is not powered by men, it is powered by God. Do you see the paradox? They are watching because they cannot ignore you, but they are frozen because they cannot measure up to you. And so, you walk this path with eyes on you, but without applause. You move forward with witnesses, but without cheerleaders. You carry greatness that is seen, but never admitted. And all of it is part of the divine design. Because when the time comes, when the breakthrough fully manifests, when the tables turn, when heaven's promise over your life explodes into reality, then they will be forced to act. Their silence will be broken. Their passivity will crumble. Their excuses will dissolve. They will have no choice but to admit what they already knew, that you were chosen from the beginning. Until then, they watch. And though they do not act, their watching is proof that you cannot be ignored. Proof that your presence is undeniable. Proof that your calling cannot be silenced. So do not despise their inaction. Do not be discouraged by their silence. It is not weakness, it is evidence. Evidence that you are walking a path so powerful, they cannot look away. And now, here you are walking forward, carrying the weight of their silence. You feel it in the air when you enter a room. The way conversations shift, the way eyes glance, then quickly look away. The way their bodies stiffen as if your presence disrupts their comfort. You don't need applause to know you're being watched. You can feel the tension. You can sense the energy. You already know what they don't realize is that their inaction speaks louder than their words ever could. By not acting, they reveal the truth that your life holds a gravity they cannot resist. You draw attention without trying. You inspire questions without speaking. You stir conviction just by existing. And that's why they freeze, because to engage with you would mean facing themselves. To move toward you would mean confronting what they have been running from. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. Some people are not against you, they're against themselves. It's not you they fear. It's the reflection of their own unfulfilled potential that terrifies them. When they look at you, they don't just see you. They see what they could have been if they hadn't compromised. They see the courage they abandoned. They see the dreams they buried. They see the faith they lost. And so, rather than acting, they stay paralyzed. This is why you cannot measure your value by how many people support you. This is why you cannot gauge your impact by how many people openly acknowledge you. Some of your greatest influence is hidden. Some of your deepest impact happens in silence. You are teaching people who will never admit you're their teacher. You are inspiring lives that will never confess you inspired them. You are shifting atmospheres in ways people will never credit you for. And that is exactly how the divine works. Quiet, unseen, yet undeniable. But there is also another layer, one even deeper. Their refusal to act is also divine protection. Because if some of them acted, it would not be for your good, it would be for their own gain. Some of them, if they drew near, would not help you, they would drain you. They would exploit your light, consume your fire, and then leave you empty. So, God allows their hesitation to shield you. Their silence becomes your safeguard. Their inaction becomes your protection. They think they're withholding something from you, but in truth, heaven is withholding them from you, and while they watch, while they hesitate, while they sit in silence, heaven is preparing something else, a sudden shift, a divine reversal, because you were not chosen to be stuck under silent observation forever. You were chosen for a divine unveiling, a moment when what has been hidden will be revealed, a moment when the blessings that have been delayed will manifest, a moment when the watchers will have no choice but to see what heaven has been doing in your life. Think of it like this: the silence of men builds the stage for the voice of God. The hesitation of people clears the space for divine acceleration. Their refusal to move leaves room for heaven's movement to be undeniable. And when that moment comes, every silent witness will be forced to see what you were carrying all along. This is why you cannot stop. This is why you cannot slow down. Because your story is not waiting for their applause, it's waiting for heaven's timing. And when the appointed time arrives, it won't matter who stayed quiet. It won't matter who refused to act. It won't matter who hesitated, because God Himself will act on your behalf. And when He moves, everything changes instantly. Chosen. 1. Let me tell you this. There are eyes on you now that will one day turn into mouths confessing. Those who watch you silently today will one day be unable to deny your elevation. They will be forced to admit what they refused to say before, that you were chosen, that you were favored, that you were destined all along. Their silence will break and their words will testify. But even then, your heart must remain pure. Because your journey is not about proving them wrong. It is not about making them speak. It is not about forcing action from those who refused you before. No, your journey is about fulfilling destiny, walking in obedience, carrying the light you were given. Their actions, or lack thereof, cannot add to or take away from that dot. So walk with confidence, walk with assurance, walk with peace, even in the silence. For their hesitation is not your obstacle, it is your evidence. Their refusal to act is not your downfall, it is your confirmation. Every pair of eyes that watches but does not move is another witness to the undeniable truth. You are chosen, you are anointed, you are set apart, and sooner than they expect, the silence will break. The watchers will see the fruit. The hesitant will witness the fulfillment. The passive will be forced to face what they've been avoiding. And in that moment, you won't need their action. Because heaven's action will be enough. Heaven's movement will be undeniable. Heaven's purpose will be complete. So remember this, chosen one. Their silence is not neglect. Their hesitation is not defeat. Everyone is watching you but not acting, because your story is too heavy for them to carry, too powerful for them to control, too divine for them to interfere with. And that is why you will win. That is why you will rise. That is why you will fulfill what was written over your life long before they ever noticed you. They watch, but they do not act. And that is exactly how it's supposed to be.